Well, hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome to another amazing episode of the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. Tonight, we are going to have an amazing conversation with my guest tonight. She is a first time guest. Let's give it up for Miss Linda Carmouche.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you tonight, Miss Linda?
I am doing wonderfully well. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. And I'm excited about the conversation we're going to have.
Me too. Me too. We had the pleasure of meeting each other. I guess it's been a little bit over maybe a month, month and a half now,
Yeah.
at the Black Girls Who Read event, and it was an amazing event. Was able to connect with a lot of amazing people, and Miss Linda and I came across each other's paths, and so I'm glad that we were able to get her scheduled. And tonight, it's finally happening.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So listen, the first thing that I usually do, Miss Linda, is I ask all of my guests to introduce themselves. So please tell the audience who is Linda.
Okay, a little bit about who Linda Carmouche is. I am a licensed therapist.
Heavy
I
on the
have been
license.
heavy on the license. Okay. These days in these
Yeah.
therapy streets, you got to make sure you clarify. Okay.
Yes, yes.
I have been in the mental health field now. May of 2026 makes 30 years.
Whoa.
30 years.
Yeah.
So give me some love for hanging
Yeah.
in there for 30
Yeah.
years. And I still have a heart for it. I am
Yeah.
a speaker. I am the creator and brainchild behind Polished Pain.
Love it.
Honestly, my work was born from watching so many people look fine while they
Mm.
were quietly dying inside, carrying the
Yeah.
weight of everybody else and everything else. I focus in this stage of my career on helping the people that help other people, my therapists, my
Mm.
caregivers, my social workers, my nurses, my doctors, my teachers, those
Yeah.
who serve. Oftentimes we forget about them and they don't have anybody that takes care of them. So
Wow.
that's what I'm doing. A lot of people are surviving and don't even realize it. So, Stephanie, that's
Yeah.
my focus right now, really helping people to understand the truth about burnout, because what we've been told and sold is not the truth. It's
Oh,
not
I
the
like
whole
that.
truth.
I like that. What we've been told and sold. I like that. You'll
Yes.
what you'll know about me, Miss Linda, and tonight is I love catchphrases. And when you say
Oh,
something that is profound, I have to repeat it again. Listen, when I was doing research for the show, and very impressive the things that you have done. The 30 years in mental health alone, that is impressive that you have been able to still find passion in that because it's heavy. It's heavy.
yes, it
But
is.
one of the things that stood out to me was what you're doing right now, and that is helping the caregivers. I found myself relating to that so much, because as a mom, as a sister, a daughter, we wear all these titles. Um, that's not even including our business world and then,
No.
everything else. But I find myself to be one of those people that,
Yeah.
we're smiling on the outside and we're just, making sure everybody else is good. And at the end of the day, it's like, okay, Lord, who's going to be good for me? Because we're just like,
Yes.
you just gave out. You're overwhelmed, but you never speak it because you're the strong one. When you
Yes.
said that a few minutes
Yes.
ago, that's what triggered my thought a few minutes ago when you said, well, we're taught we're supposed to be strong, we're supposed to carry so much stuff, and then here comes people like you to educate us and to let us
Yes.
know, listen, you don't have to carry everything. You were never supposed to carry everything. And so it is really important the work that you're doing. And I want to let you know that when I saw that, I was like, I booked you because of other things. But when I saw that was part of your branding, I was like, I know I made the right choice because this ministers to me too. Polished pain is, yeah, we get real good at making it look good.
Oh,
But
we look so good, Stephanie.
yeah,
I want to eat up everything you're saying right now
yeah,
because it's so true. We become the strong ones.
yeah,
And we become the strong ones for a lot of reasons. Some
yeah.
people are the strong ones because they had no choice growing up. Some of us became the strong ones
There you
because
go. Yeah.
that's what was modeled for us, and we believed that's what we needed to become. Some of us were
Hmm.
taught that you needed to be the strong one and depend on only yourself. But God never
There you
created
go.
us to be an island. And one of the things I didn't
No.
talk about is how God has given me the ability to merge ministry with mental
Hmm.
health. Because
Yes.
sometimes we over spiritualize and we
Yeah.
think mental health doesn't have a place if we are spiritual
Yeah.
beings, but that's not true. So I don't want to
Yeah.
jump ahead, but I have to
Yeah.
say that there are so many things that we were taught directly or inadvertently that we are now finding out they don't quite
Hmm.
work for our wellness.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm a very big advocate for healing, for therapy. I am personally someone who spent lots of years in therapy, from middle school and throughout different stages of my life as an adult. I have been in and out of therapy, from all kinds of things that I was taught and just as you say, caught in life. And so I'm really big about that. It doesn't mean that you don't pray. It doesn't mean that you love Jesus any less, but it
No.
is a reality that, everything starts in your mind,
Yes.
and the Bible says, be ye therefore transformed by the renewing of your mind. Well, if your
Yes.
mind is not right, if you don't have that sound mind that the Lord is speaking about, then it's going to affect other parts of your body. And so we definitely have to be open minded. Listen, for all of you
Yes.
that are just now tuning in, we have started our conversation tonight. We are talking to Lynda, and she is an amazing licensed therapist,
Come
a
on, somebody,
speaker, a
license.
leadership strategist, and a #1 Amazon best-selling author. She is here tonight to talk about burnout. She is here to talk about strength and emotional survival, something that we talk a lot about here on this brand. Of course, we talk about healing, we talk about empowerment, and we talk about transformation. And how many of you know, watching tonight, that therapy is part of that healing process? I'm a very big advocate of healing and going through therapy, doing the work. You have to go back and pull things up from the root. You got to get it from the
Yes.
root. And so
Yes.
she's been in this field for 30 years. The concept of the healing, disrupting burnout, and of course, her background being in ministry as well. She has been able to create polished pain, which she's going to talk to us about here in just a moment. And we're going to hear all things Lynda. So listen, go ahead and like, tag, share, whatever you need to do that you can be glued to your laptop, your phone, computer, whatever you're
Yes.
watching us on tonight. Make sure that you are tuned into this conversation. Miss Lynda, let's go ahead and,
Stephanie,
yes, ma'am.
Stephanie, I want to tag on something that you mentioned just now because I think it's
Okay.
very important. It's one of
Okay.
the things that get us caught up real bad. You
Mm,
said pull from the root. A
yes.
lot of times when we talk about mental health,
Yeah.
we only focus on the fruit.
There you go.
We
Yeah.
focus on the symptoms, the things
There
that
you go.
we can see, the things that we can feel, or what we
Yeah.
don't feel. I don't feel like I have
Yeah.
hope anymore. I feel
Yeah.
heavy or weighted,
Yeah.
depressed, dark.
Hmm.
But I need all of your listeners and followers to understand
Yeah.
that number one, let's just move back from all
Hmm.
of the stigma with mental health and understand that
Hmm.
if you are a person and you have physical health, you
Yeah.
also have mental health, you
Yeah.
also have spiritual health. And
There
if
you
there
go.
is any part of you that you don't feed and take care of, it is
Yeah.
going to impact the other part of you.
There you
But when
go.
you talk about the root, if you only focus on the fruit, and even if you go to therapy, different therapists take care of different things. I have a certification in trauma. That
Yeah.
is my focus. But you have to make sure that whoever you link up with, they are qualified to deal with the root. If
There
you
you
go
go.
to a therapist and all you talk about is the fruit, what you're going to do is manage the symptoms.
There you
You
go.
don't want to manage the symptoms. You want
That's
to
right.
process
Mm-hmm.
what has happened so that you can get to the root of it. Because
Yes, ma'am.
whenever you kill or dismantle the root,
There you
the
go.
fruit will die.
Whoop, I like that. Let's say that again. Say it again. Say it again.
We got to get to the root because that's going to keep you from
Yeah.
having to deal with the same thing for the next 30 years.
Cycles.
It doesn't mean that it won't try it. It won't resurface,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
won't deal with it in the same way that you've been dealing with it.
Yeah. Yeah. We're talking about breaking cycles. That's what it
Yes.
does. It breaks the
Yes.
cycles. And I have seen so many people go through the therapy. And just like what you're saying, Linda, they talk about only the right now. They don't talk about what started, when things happen,
Yes.
because all of it matters. Relating it in parallel to ministry and to church, when we talk about people getting delivered, but we don't talk about what opened the door for them to get the addiction, what opened the door for them to get the
Yes.
stronghold. And so
Yes.
therefore we get them delivered, but we don't
There's
teach them
work.
how to stay delivered. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
therefore, not getting to the root, you're not teaching somebody how to stay delivered, what caused them to get,
Yes.
and so in the same way, we're talking about the spiritual aspect, we're talking about the mental aspect, that yes, we can talk, you can listen to me tell you my business all day long. But if you don't get to the root of what got me here, what led up to these events,
You're not going to help me.
You're not going to help me, because you've got to help me have some tools that the
Yes.
next time something happens, I don't get triggered,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I go back into what I'm coming out of. So that
And
is
this
very
is what
important.
separates a lot
Yeah.
of times. You'll hear people, especially melanated people, I'm going to talk about us,
Yeah.
will say, well, I don't want to go talk to a stranger. I can
Mhm.
talk to my friend. This is one of the things that
Yeah.
separates the conversation you're having with your friend versus a
Yeah.
therapist. We
Yeah.
know what to look for. We know how to educate you on things that you've seen, experienced, or
Yeah.
dealing with, and help direct you in a different path that somebody who's not a therapist and have not been trained and educated on will not be able to pick it up and help you move in a different direction.
Yeah. And that should be the goal, not just, continually having the same conversation, but moving, breaking the cycle and moving to going through the actual healing process. So what you're doing is you're blending your clinical expertise, your leadership development, your spiritual insight, and everything all together, and helping people to get to the better side of things. Polished pain. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let's talk about your book. I mean, I would ask you, how did you come up with the name? But I mean, it's pretty obvious. The cost of burnout and unresolved trauma, polished pain. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk real good about it. So
Yeah.
I will be honest, I want to take all the credit. I really do, because it's a beautiful book, but I can't. It was definitely birthed through me, but it was from God.
Okay.
After my book was launched, I really had an opportunity to go back, and some of the things that I saw, I was in awe of things that I wrote in the book. I shared some personal stories, some things that I had to work through myself, because people think therapists are inhumane. We're not. We have our own journey that we're working through, and things that we have had to process, the same steps that you've had to take. When you hear me say polished pain, it is a phrase that I coined. And I want to break it down because I want people to understand on a deeper level what it is and what it looks like and how it shows up in our lives.
Okay.
Polished pain is pain that has learned how to behave.
Ooh, stop right there. My God. Pain that has learned how to behave.
How to behave. What do you mean, Lynda? We have taught it. Going back to childhood, I can remember my mom when she would take us out. We can cut up a little bit at the house, but when you going out in public, she have that conversation in the car.
Oh yeah.
You know how to behave in the store or in the church. So we have pain that we've taught. You can cut up at the house.
My God.
But when you get in public, when I'm in the board meeting, when I'm leading the church choir, when I'm preaching a sermon, when I'm teaching a class, when they're calling me doctor, we taught that pain.
Yeah.
Come on, somebody. How to behave, how to respond. We've polished it. We've dressed it up. We put it in a nice car. We put some red bottoms on it. We've got a designer suit and put on it. But when you take all of it off at the house, and you stand in front of the mirror or you lay in the bed, your inside does not mirror your outside because we have polished the pain to make it look how we need it to look in public. So in public, we're thriving, it looks like. But in private, we're dying.
Wow. Listen, and you and I have not had a conversation before this night, but the Lord does a thing when he does a thing, right?
Yeah, always.
I have a virtual conference coming up called Hidden Things. It's about that very thing that you're talking about tonight. I mean, only he can do it. Yeah, but it's about the very thing you're talking about tonight. I didn't call it polished pain, but still the same thing. And you're hitting on it. So that says that the Lord wants us to
have the conversation.
He wants us to have those conversations. He's
to have the conversation.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, as I have explored, and it keeps growing because I thought it was just a book.
Yeah.
It's not just a book. It's a movement.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you that I'm coming out. I'm coming after everything the enemy has stolen because we're showing up and we're saying scriptures on our lips, but we're exhausted in our souls.
Oh my God. Hold on. Oh, we are saying scriptures on our lips, but exhausted in our souls. My God, that's truth right there. That is true.
Because God said that he gave us an abundant life.
Yeah.
But that abundant life is a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to be able to make the decision to lay some things down so that we can take hold of some other things.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, this whole polishing thing, sometimes we use the word to polish. Let me go ahead and go there.
Yeah, we can quote the scriptures, but we can't apply them to our own self.
Come on, somebody.
Yeah. It's easy to tell everybody else until you get at that valid moment yourself.
Yes. Yeah. And sometimes we polish. I want to be very clear. Sometimes polishing our pain is our protection in that moment. But if you don't move from that space and it becomes your residence, it then becomes your prison.
Ooh.
So what you used in one season to protect you becomes your prison in another season because you stayed there. There's an example that I use in the book where I was working on my master's and I was married at the time, and my husband then had an affair.
Okay.
And because I was going through school and I had a lot on my plate, I did not have time to process it. So I polished it. I polished it real good. So good that nobody even knew what I was going through. If you looked at my grades, you was like, woo, Lynda killing it. But I was dying inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
After I graduated, I had to stop. I had to pause life,
Yeah.
and I had to deal with the pain.
Yeah.
There was a season that I didn't pause because I
Mm.
was a therapist now, and I need to keep going, and I need to help the children, and I need to help families.
Yeah.
And while I had an opportunity to stop and deal,
Mm.
some of us never stop. Let me tell you something, Stephanie.
Mm.
Some of us started polishing in childhood.
Oh, yes, I know. Yes.
There's a story I
Yeah.
tell in the book about being third grade when my teacher asked me a question about my dad and I didn't have the answer.
Mm-hmm.
And what she said embarrassed me, but I
Mm.
smiled.
Mm.
That's polishing
That's
because I
polished. Yeah.
wasn't able to own my truth.
Yeah.
Whenever you don't own your truth and you show
Mm-hmm.
up as something different, you're polishing. When a kid
Yeah.
falls, a little boy falls, and we tell him to get up, stop that crying because boys don't cry,
We're teaching them to
what we're
polish.
saying is polish your pain and show
Mm.
up as strong, even though
Yeah.
you're hurting.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
it doesn't stop because you get older.
No. No. Mm-mm.
These are things we learn,
Wow.
these are things we're taught. If nobody
Mm-hmm.
ever teaches you how to grieve,
Yeah.
when you have a loss
Yeah.
and they
Not
say,
good.
be strong, don't cry, you got to be strong,
Yeah.
then I don't have an opportunity to show up and show you
Mm.
that I'm hurting, that I'm in pain.
Wow.
So in the book, I take people on a journey
Mm.
and I give them opportunities to really examine what is the pain that you've polished. And I'm going to ask your listeners to write it down, even if
Yeah.
you don't have the book.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, what is that thing that keeps gnawing at you
Mm.
and you keep pushing it back?
Yeah.
That's pain that you've polished that you really got to process.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Hey, listen. I'm sitting here as you're speaking. I've got some polished areas. And we're all still a work in progress. And I was just
Yes.
sitting here as you were, calling it forth and identifying and defining what polished pain is. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, I can identify with that if someone has offended me, or there are times when I'm vocal and I'll say something, but it seems like the deeper they cut, I go silent. Now,
That's
there are
good.
times when I'll say blah, 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 but there are times when it's real deep and it's personal. I find myself, I just go silent. And it's like, I can't even vocalize because I guess
Wow.
there's a part of me trying to still protect what we had.
Yes. Oh, that's so
So
good.
if that makes sense, because we've been taught to do that, right? So
Oh,
what I
that's
really
so good.
want to say would cut you to your core, like what you've done to me, but there's still a part in my head, that polished part,
That I
that
need to
lets me
protect
just
you.
go silent. Does that make
That's
sense what I'm
good.
saying?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I want to give you an example of something I've done. And I know
Yeah.
other women have done it. I don't know if men, I don't think men, I don't know, men might do it. I don't know, but I know we
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
I remember having a relationship that went real left. And I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
going right onto the altar, but it went left.
Yes.
And I remember being in my friend group after it happened. My heart was broken. And I remember they was like, girl, it's his loss. And I was like, it surely is. It's his loss. I know my worth. That was
Mm-hmm.
polishing.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Because they did not give me a safe space to
Be
say,
real. Yeah.
it's okay if you're hurting.
Yeah.
And so what happens a lot of the times is, now that I've said it's his loss, I have to keep showing up
Mm-hmm.
and pumping myself up. I'm polishing
Yes.
every
Oh, yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Where what I needed to say was, yeah, he lost, but it hurt.
But yeah. Yeah.
It
The
hurt. I'm
acknowledgement.
hurt.
Yes.
Yeah. Being
Yeah.
honest with myself. Yes.
Yeah. I think it's those expectations that people set for us, of how how they feel like we're supposed to process things. makes us easier to do the polishing of the pain.
Yeah.
Because like you said, they call themselves giving you an out, but you didn't
Yes.
necessarily want an out. You didn't
Or
necessarily
need
want
an
an out,
out.
right? Or need an out, yeah.
Sometimes we need to
Now,
sit
let
in
me
that
ask you this.
discomfort.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes we need to sit there to really think about it and be true to ourselves. How can someone tell the difference between burnout and a deeper, like unresolved emotional pain? How can you tell the difference between the two?
So I guess we need to talk a little bit first before I can answer that about burnout. We've
Okay.
been taught that burnout is directly related to either working too much
Mm-hmm.
or not enough vacations.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I beg to differ.
Okay.
I believe that burnout has a lot to do with all of the things that we have carried too long
Mm.
by ourselves, a lot of the emotional weight.
Mm.
I
Mm.
believe that oftentimes we started burning out before we even got to work.
Whoa, that's good.
Sit in that
Yeah.
right there for a minute.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Mentally, especially. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that when you talk about burnout, we have to consider our whole journey.
Mm. Yeah.
And what happens a lot of the times is we're trying to diagnose if something is burnout or not, but it's very difficult to diagnose if it's burnout if we're not looking at the whole person and the whole picture. I'm going to give
Mm.
you an example. You often hear people say they went on vacation and they need a vacation from the vacation.
Yes. Yes.
Well, if vacation was the cure-all, you just came off vacation.
Yeah.
But if you took the toxic family members with you on vacation,
that's why you need another vacation.
This is why you need another vacation. It's not just the family, it's the patterns. So
Yes.
while you were on vacation, you didn't press pause. You kept serving. You kept taking care of everybody.
Yes.
You kept answering emails. So when we talk about understanding if it's burnout or if it's a deeper thing, a deeper issue, one of the things I'll say is you have to look at your life and ask yourself, what have I done to correct the burnout? Because burnout is not the problem. Burnout is the proof. Burnout is the proof that something else is going on deeper that we need to give attention to. Let me give you an example. If you feel like you're exhausted and you say, you know what, I'm going to sleep in this weekend. I'm going to take Saturday. I'm going to rest. I'm not going to do anything. You go through the whole weekend. You've slept in. You've rested. You didn't do anything. You didn't entertain anybody. And Monday morning, you're still exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah.
We probably have a deeper issue that we've ignored. When you talk about, whenever I diagnose or assess someone, not diagnose, assess, can't talk, someone for burnout, one of the things I'm asking is, tell me about your daily routines. What are you doing? If you get up and you only have 50% energy, it's not burnout. You slept all night.
Yeah.
There is something else going on. Then I'll find out, well, my husband and I are not in a good place and we hadn't been in a good place in 10 years. Well, think about it. If you live with someone for 10 years and you all have not been in a good place, that's your safe place.
Right. Yeah.
This is not just burnout. This is a deeper issue that you all need to deal with that is giving burnout, but it's not burnout.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I answered your question.
Yeah, you did. Definitely. And it kind of goes over into, I was thinking that D word, depression. I would think, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I would think that it would be probably a really thin line between burnout and depression.
Oh, definitely. And sometimes the symptoms look just alike.
Yeah.
And let me say this. depression in one person
Mm-hmm.
doesn't look the same in the next.
Okay.
There is something called productive survival.
Okay.
Just because I can function and get up and go to work and meet the quota doesn't mean I'm not depressed.
Right. You polished it.
Especially in high functioning African American women.
Yeah.
We can work through that thing and mask it, and you would never know because we're not staying in the bed because we got work to do.
Yeah. Listen, Lynda. Listen, Lynda. So I'm gonna be very transparent. And the reason why we're up doing that high function stuff is because it's polished pain. We've learned that we're not able to show how we feel or how we think. We have to do whatever we have to do. We're expected. We've been taught, and so we carry it out. And I believe, and I'm probably sure there's men that experience it too. I think it would probably be more so with African American women, especially the expectations, especially those of us that are in leadership positions, in places of employment. We are very polished in polished pain, because we know how to turn it off, our personal stuff. And we know that we have to dot every I, we have to cross every T.
Yes.
We can't just know everything. That's not good enough. We've still got to go above and beyond the norm because of whatever. And so we definitely have perfected polishing pain. And ladies, I know you're watching tonight. Chime in on the conversation. Drop in the comments if you can identify with what Lynda's talking about tonight. If some of this has hit you, go ahead and show us in the comments, because I know it's hitting home for me. I'm sitting here like, oh boy, she all in my business, But listen, this book right here, Polished Pain, I'm going to put the link in the comments for all of you that are watching. This link right here, no matter what time you watch this interview, you'll be able to click on this link, and it takes you directly to the Amazon link where you can make a purchase of the book, Polished Pain. Make sure that you share that link with someone that you know is struggling or going through some things. If you have heard something tonight that you know this person can identify with tonight, make sure that you make the interview as well as that link available to them. But wow, Lynda, you're really onto something. I'm really mesmerized by people that don't just write books about just stuff, but write books that are actual real life, things that people are actually going through, things that people can identify with. And again, I'm all about healing, empowerment, and transformation. This book is going to change so many people's lives because you are speaking to them directly. This is just amazing. I mean, you're not just hitting men, you're hitting women. It's not just, a certain ethnic group. This is across the board.
Absolutely.
We all have learned how to polish our pain and keep the performance going or do whatever. And not until we get to the bottom, till we get to the root, and learn how to actually do something different and break the cycles. Wow.
And I want to say this, Stephanie. I realize that some people will never, ever go to therapy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that therapy is the only way you heal, because it's not. When I wrote this book, I intentionally made sure that I took you on a journey where I'm going to get you as close to the finish line as you possibly can. There are opportunities where you have to do some exercises, where I allow you to do what I call is sit in it. There are so many things that we pass over and we want to get through it real quick, but we don't process it.
Yes.
I realize, not only from my own life, but from the thousands and thousands of people that I've journeyed with, that sometimes we polished because we didn't have a choice in that moment.
Yeah.
Sometimes
That's
we
true.
polish because we didn't know any other way and we needed to
Yeah.
survive. So I
Ooh,
plead
yeah.
with your listeners to not feel that you've done something wrong that can't be changed. You
That's right.
still have an opportunity as long as you are breathing
That's
to
right.
do it differently, because
That's
as long as you continue to polish,
yeah.
it's never too late. You're carrying a weight
Mm,
that is so much heavier
yeah.
than you need to carry. And when
Yeah.
you finally get to the point where you say, no more,
Yeah.
no more, you open the door to experience a different level of freedom,
Yeah.
love, and life.
Yeah. Well, on that note, kind of tell us what that looks like. What does healing from polished pain actually look like in real life? So what would that look like?
In real life, it's stepping outside of that comfort zone
Mm-hmm.
and giving yourself permission to not be okay.
Mm,
Giving yourself permission
yeah.
to lay down the title. And I don't
Mm.
mean title just in degrees.
Oh yeah.
I mean title as in the strong one,
Oh yeah.
the one
Yeah.
who's available for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of power lays in the hands and the hearts and the heads of the person who's carrying the weight. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of literature says the first step is admitting that there's an issue. I disagree.
Mm.
The first step is being honest with yourself,
Okay.
because you can't even admit anything until you are honest that
Mm.
something is going on.
Yeah.
And
Acknowledging
a
it.
lot of us have not even been given the opportunity to be honest and say, I'm tired. When
Mm-hmm.
somebody walks up and say, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm fine. You're not fine.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not fine.
Yeah. I get it. I get it.
So I believe stopping to polish the pain says that I'm going to disconnect from a life that I have known and go after a life that I have dreamed of.
Oh, I like that.
I may not know how I'm
Wow.
going to get there, but I'm
Yeah.
going to take one step every day in that direction. And let me tell you, you're not going to be able to do everything at once because it's going to be too overwhelming. Let me give you a quick example. If you have a kid
Mm-hmm.
who was a parent, the roles were switched in childhood and they were the parent to their younger siblings because the parents were not there.
Right.
It's going to be very difficult at 50 or 60 for them to just stop being in control or parenting everybody. So you
Yeah.
may have to stop. The first step may be you saying, I've done this a really long time. And while I'm good at it,
Yeah.
it is wearing me out. So
Yes.
the first step for me is going to be, I'm just going to stay in my lane and not take on anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's starting the healing journey. That's starting the cycle to break. That's
Yeah.
stopping all of these things that's been weighing you down. Because
Yeah.
if we keep going the way that we are going, we're going to keep losing.
Yeah.
We're going to
Listen,
keep
you
and
you you're talking. Yeah.
being strong has been applauded,
Mm, yeah.
and it has become the identity of many of us.
Yeah.
Notice I said us, many
Yeah.
of us.
Yeah.
We have to take the label off. I'm not strong. I'm human.
Listen, I
I'm human.
told I told my one of my good friends just a couple weeks ago because I'm the person that has been labeled the strong one, and there have been some things that have taken place in my life in the last couple months, and people say, oh well, you're strong, you can get through this, oh you got it, you're fine, oh I'm impressed with how you're handling it, I knew you were strong. And I've heard that word strong, strong, strong. So I told one of my good friends, and she said, well, even strong people, I was telling her what some other people were saying. And she said, well, even strong people need help. Even strong people need
Yes.
an encouraging word. And I told her, I
Yes.
said, you know what? I'm tired of being strong. I literally said that exact thing, Linda. I said, you know what? I don't want to be strong. I'm about to be 51 years old, Linda.
Be human.
I don't want to be strong no more. I
Yeah.
don't. Listen,
Divorce it, Stephanie.
listen,
I declare that if you are
listen.
divorced
I'm
from
divorced from being
strong.
strong. Listen, I don't want to be strong. I want somebody else to be strong for me. Okay. Listen, I'm about to be 51 years old. My shoulders done held enough.
They tied.
They
Not
tied.
they're tired. They tied. Okay. Them
Listen,
shoulders
yeah.
tied.
Listen, I mean, what you're saying tonight is so relevant. I totally
Yes.
identify with you in so many ways that I can't even air publicly. But listen,
Yes.
I get it. I get it. And I know there are so many people that are watching this and they can identify as well that, we carry things and, and we know the word. We know that, okay, we can lay it at the altar but we find ourselves picking it back up because everybody keeps telling us how strong we are. And, and you wear that strong like it's something.
It's a banner. It's a badge of honor.
Until one day you hit a wall.
Yes.
And you realize I don't want to be strong anymore. Not for you, not for me, not for nobody. For nobody. I want to be soft and in my femininity. And I want to look up and I want to say, okay, Father God, this is what's going on. And I want to lay it here. Or, but I don't want to I don't want to figure nothing out. I don't.
Yes. And I want to say this, Stephanie, to the faith community.
Yes.
Stop saying God's not going to put more on me than I can bear.
Yes.
As the banner for all the stuff we refuse to release. You're right. Yeah. Okay, you're right. God is not going to put more on you than you can bear. But some of the stuff you got on you, God didn't put on you.
Yeah, you put it on yourself. Yeah.
But we're carrying that. And I hear you would be amazed even in the corporate world how many times people will say, it's okay, I'm going to be all right. God won't put more on me than I can bear.
Yeah.
No. God never intended for us to carry weight that would wear us down.
No, when he blessed us with those jobs, he blessed us to be the position we applied for. But we get in there being superwoman and superman and we let them know we know how to do 20 things. Then they start getting us to do those 20 things with the same salary. And then we say that phrase. when in reality, we did it to ourselves. Yeah.
Yes. I want to go back. You asked a question about what does it look like when you are when you start healing from polished pain. I want to give the audience just a couple of pointers, if that's okay.
Yes, please.
Healing may look like boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Not just setting boundaries, but honoring your boundaries. Sometimes you set boundaries and you expect that because you told that friend, don't call me after 10 o'clock, that they're just not going to call. They're going to call. Let them call. But you honor your boundaries. Healing might look like not expecting other people to do for you what you're not willing to do for yourself.
Ooh, these are good. Yeah.
If you're not willing to pause and rest, you can't say people keep calling me and I never have time to rest, because it's not their responsibility to manage your rest. That's your responsibility.
That's right.
It may look like asking for help. You don't need 3 children in the house. You're a single parent and you washing all the clothes and they're teenagers.
Right.
It may look like asking your spouse who's in the house, can you clean the kitchen 3 nights a week?
Yeah.
Okay. Rest without guilt. If you're resting and you're so agitated because you feel guilty, you got to deal with the root, which is the guilt. What is making me feel guilty about resting?
Oh, yeah.
I was talking to a young lady recently and she said, I don't think I have a root. And it took maybe 3 minutes for me to determine, well, as a kid, she was raised by her grandma and grandma said, get up at 6 o'clock because you're lazy if you don't. And you need to clean. You need to do this. That's the root.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean grandma didn't do the best she could, but now you have developed a sense of guilt when you are not moving.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
Going to therapy is another one. disappointing people.
Yeah.
It's okay for people to be
It's okay.
disappointed.
Yeah, it's okay.
And they will live.
Yeah.
And the last one I want to give is learning to disconnect your worth from productivity.
Ooh, that's a very good one.
Disconnecting your worth from
Yeah.
productivity. Like you talked about, I don't need to carry 5 extra duties at work that I'm not
Mm-mm.
getting paid for so that you can consider me worthy.
No. Mm-mm.
No, the answer is no, I'm not
Yeah.
available.
There you go. And
Yes.
learning to say no without any other words following it. That is a
Yes.
really big one. I love what you've said tonight, Linda, because the reality of it is we can, in order for us to heal from this polished pain, we've got to set all these things in place, but setting them in place is not good enough if you don't follow up. It's being
Yes.
accountable to yourself.
Yes.
I can tell you all day, like you said, don't, that I'm not going to answer calls at 10. Then the phone rings and I answer it. Well, you're teaching people how to treat you.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
so if we're going to put all these things in place and really take this healing process serious for ourselves, then it's mandatory that we make people respect that. So I
Yes.
love you
And
really
you
been,
respect it.
yeah, you respect it first and then other people
Yes.
respect it. Because if you don't, if you say it, but you don't do it, you've taught people that she's just talking, that
Yes.
she's not really being serious. As we get ready to come to a close, and we have had an amazing, amazing conversation tonight, Miss Linda. We're gonna have to do something again because this conversation has just been really good, and I can't let this polished pain thing go. We're gonna have to figure something out. Um,
Yes.
but I'm gonna give you 3 words. The 3 words are healing, empowerment, and transformation. And I know all of those probably reign for you, but pick one of them and tell us why, please.
Okay. I would say healing.
Okay.
Sometimes we go through something that shakes our world
Mm.
to the core.
Mhm.
It shakes our very soul. It
Mhm.
impacts us in ways that we feel we could never heal and move forward.
Yeah.
But I picked healing because healing is really the children's bread.
Yes. Yes.
Healing is possible. There is nothing, absolutely nothing that you have experienced in your life that
Yeah.
you cannot heal from. And healing looks different for everybody.
Mhm.
But whatever it is that you're stuck in, whatever it is the enemy has told you, this is just what life has dealt you, this is your life, this is where you are.
Yeah.
No, you're not. Healing is available. And when
Mm.
you make the decision that you're going to heal,
Yeah.
you are empowering yourself and you will be transformed.
I love it. Look at you. Just throw them all in there. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to put the link up again. Please make sure that you click on the link, regardless again of when you watch this interview. You have the ability to click on this link. This is the link that leads to the Amazon site where you can purchase Linda's book, Polished Pain. The picture is up here behind her. You can see the cover. Can you hold your book up again, Miss Linda, so they can see your book?
I can.
Polished Pain, the cost of burnout and unresolved trauma. Make sure that you get a copy for yourself as well as someone that may be going through some things. And that's pretty much all of us. So
Yeah.
definitely get a copy for yourself. And that can also be a gift to someone as well. Miss Linda, thank you so much for being here tonight. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you. And I'll reach back out to you so that we can follow up again. Okay.
For sure. And I'm going to ask all of your listeners to follow me on all social media platforms at
Yes.
Linda Carmouche and grab some free tips and techniques as we all journey together. You don't have to do this alone.
Very good. Do you have any upcoming events or workshops or anything
I am
with the book?
actually getting ready to do a conversation virtually about polished pain.
Okay.
And dig into the book and some of the concepts about how you can make it work in your life. The book is an easy read, but it's so layered with
Yeah.
so many things that people are asking to have conversations about. So I'm going to do an author talk. So I'm going to encourage everyone to get your book and get your book soon so that you can join me for the author talk. I'll be posting on all my social media platforms about it, and we can hang out and have some good healing conversations.
Okay, very good. I like that. Okay, well, thank you, Miss Linda. Have a good night. Thank you guys for tuning in
Thank
tonight.
you, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Bye-bye. Thank y'all for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Stephanie M. Seaton Sunday Show. We will see you back on next Thursday. Thank you. Bye-bye.
2027 Keeping It All Together. Becoming Who God Called Me to Be Conference. Saturday, February 27, 2027. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Ujima Socials, Dallas, Texas. This is more than an event. This is a divine gathering for women who are ready to heal, grow, be encouraged, and walk boldly in purpose. This powerful day will include dynamic speakers, a keynote message from visionary Stephanie M. Seaton, vendors, catered lunch, raffles, self-care, intimacy with the Lord, and a life-changing panel discussion. Get your tickets now.